DiMaggio by T. Zaccario. Fade in. Interior convenience store day. A glass bowl of black licorice. A hand pulls some out. Frank, 40s, puts the licorice into a plastic bag. Dressed in dirty work clothes. He wears a baseball cap. Yankees. He walks over to the magazine rack. Charlie, 40s, dressed similarly, looks through some sports magazines. Frank grabs a magazine with a baseball player on the cover.
Wish I could get my son to want to play.
Hey, you're more of a football guy.
Clarinet guy.
What? You never told me that.
I tried, but...
Frank puts the baseball magazine back, finds a book of comic strip cartoons. He opens it, smiles.
My old man would bust me in the jaw if I wanted to go to a clarinet recital over a Yankees game.
Baseball was the only thing me and my father had in common. Joe DiMaggio. Me and Joey don't have a DiMaggio.
Frank puts the comic strip back. Tito, 40s, enters. Frank is not happy to see him.
Charlie, Frank, you making it to the game Saturday, Charlie?
Nah, my daughter's got a dance recital.
Too bad we won't be seeing you at your son of freshman tryouts, Frank.
He might try out.
Really? Because my niece and her friend sit next to him in band. He plays the clarinet?
Frank is embarrassed.
Have you talked to him about how that looks?
Frank grabs his bag of licorice, storms out. Tito smiles. Interior Frank's car, day. Frank driving. A baseball game on. Frank stops at a red light, looks out the window, sees a father and son play catch on the lawn. He sighs. Interior Frank's house, foyer, day. Recorded clarinet music comes from the adjacent living room. Joey, 15, stares out of the window. He looks like he could be an athlete. Good build. His face lights up, smiles. The door opens up. Frank enters.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy. How was school?
Yeah, I was good. During orchestra today, Mr. Rosalon's
Uh-oh, your shoes. How many times I gotta tell you?
Joey bends over to tie his shoelaces.
You're gonna trip and smash up your face.
Mr. Rosalon's want me to...
What the hell is that?
They quiet. The music from the other room.
The music? Hey, that's me. From my solo. What do you think?
I don't know. Sounds okay. Put the TV on in there. Yes, there's an old game on I want to watch. I got a shower.
Frank starts up the stairs.
Oh, Joey.
He tosses a bag of black licorice to Joey. He smiles.
Put the game on and turn that music off.
Joey, deflated, goes into the living room. Interior Frank's bedroom, day. The sound of a shower running in the connected bathroom. Frank stands shirtless, his body showing the remnants of a once muscular build. He looks at the walls, a dozen baseball trophies, all with his name, Frank Bafalio, on them. The biggest trophy for Athlete of the Year, baseball. He walks towards the bathroom, pauses at a small picture frame. Inside, a hand-drawn cartoon of a baseball player, taped together as if it was once ripped apart. At the top of the cartoon, the words, Jolton Joe. To Jolton Joe's right, the words, for my dad. And at the bottom, Frank. Interior living room, later. Frank, Eileen, 40s, and Joey sit at their dinner trays eating. Frank munches his food without ever looking away from the TV. Eileen sits on the couch. Joey sits on the other side of the room. He's in a position where he can't see the TV.
Mr. Razanza came into the store yesterday. He's so happy you get in early to practice. He seemed very impressed.
He asked me to help out Clarence Edison with his arpeggios before school. He plays oboe, but the scales are similar.
That's because you're so good. Don't you think so, Frank?
Frank isn't listening. Eileen shoots him a dirty look.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure the teacher's proud.
Don't forget, Joey's school concert is this Monday, 10 o'clock.
In the morning? I can't take off work for that.
It's his last middle school one. You can find the time.
Then who's gonna pay for all those lessons? Private tutors, music stands. Sorry, bud, but I can't take time off.
Eileen glares at Frank. Joey thinks.
A man from Young Musicians Philharmonic came to school today. He said he's looking forward to my solo at the concert. If I do good, he might ask me to audition.
And you want to do that?
Oh, people think I'm good at it.
Hey, you know C.J. Pellegrini? His father works with me. He's trying out for the freshman baseball team Sunday.
Frank, I don't want to hear it. Enough! He doesn't want to play.
He hasn't even tried to like it, Eileen.
He doesn't like it. Do we always have to go through this? Drop it.
He's my son, too. He could be just as good as I was, instead of wasting his time on this music shit.
Frank gets up and exits. Joey looks at his clarinet, then to his father's empty chair. Interior Frank's bedroom, day. Frank on the bed, flat on his stomach. In a room close by, we hear Joey practicing his clarinet. Frank grabs a pen and notepad off the nightstand. He starts to draw. Quickly sketches a small child. He draws a pencil in the child's hand. Then he elongates it, turning the pen into a baseball bat. Frank crumples up the paper. He goes to the closet, pulls out a large cardboard box, places it on the bed. He opens it. It's filled with old baseball stuff. Cleats, baseballs, cards, a jersey with Frank's last name. Frank removes a photo album. He flips through it, stops at one photograph in particular. It's of a 13-year-old boy dressed to play ball, his father next to him, arm around his son. Frank turns over the photo, handwritten on the back, Frank and Dad. Frank closes the album, drags a chair from the desk to the closet. As the sound of the clarinet stops, Frank stands in the chair, reaches into the way back of the closet shelf, finds an old tin cookie can. At the bed, Frank opens the tin can. It's stuffed with folded paper, all with hand-drawn cartoons on them.
Dad?
Frank closes the tin can, drops it into the cardboard box. He acts as if he's doing something wrong. Joey stands in the doorway.
Maybe I could give it a try.
Frank smiles. Exterior, Frank's house, backyard, day. The sun is going down. Frank and Joey play catch. Joey keeps dropping the ball.
I'm just not good at it.
You'll be great at it. You just have to stop getting discouraged. And throw it back.
Joey picks up the ball. Frank puts up his glove. Joey throws the ball. The ball flies right to Frank. Frank throws it back. Joey struggles, but catches. Frank smiles. Joey looks relieved. Exterior, Joey's bedroom, morning. Joey is asleep in the bed. On the dresser by the door, a trophy, middle school student musician of the year, Joseph Buffalo. Frank opens the door, turns on the light.
Up! Come on!
Joey slowly and stiffly gets up out of the bed. He bumps into the dresser, knocks down the trophy.
Leave it.
Interior, batting cages, day. Joey swings and misses. The mechanical pitching machine hurls ball after ball. Joey misses every one. Interior, batting cages, viewing area, continuous. Frank watches from behind a glass window. He's beyond depressed, looking. A man approaches him. Tito approaches, carrying a gin bag. Joey misses another ball.
I take it he's still not trying tomorrow.
He'll be there.
Selling hot dogs?
Frank doesn't look at Tito.
Wish him lots of luck.
Tito smirks, leaves. Joey finally hits the ball. He's stunned, so excited. He looks to Frank. Frank nods, still embarrassed. Exterior, track, day. Joey is dressed to run. Frank less excited, more deflated.
Okay, let's see how fast you can do.
Whole thing?
Just one lap.
Joey nods. Frank takes out the stopwatch.
Okay, ready, set, go.
Joey speeds off, fast as lightning. Perfect form, perfect breathing. In and out, in and out. He looks an athlete. Frank can't believe his eyes. His mouth's open. He glows with pride. Almost before Frank can blink, Joey's back at the starting point, still not out of breath.
You were great, that was amazing.
You think so?
Do I think?
Frank hugs Joey. The son savors his father's embrace.
You're not even out of breath. Incredible.
It's from clarinet. All that playing, all those long notes. It really builds up the lung capacity. And I've been doing these breathing exercises that Sidney Bechet used to do. He's my absolute favorite clarinetist.
No, it's not from that. It's because you're an athlete. You got my genes in you. Come on, I'll join you this time around.
Frank puts his arm around Joey. Exterior streets, day. Frank and Joey jog. Frank struggles to keep up.
Once they see you run tomorrow, they'll be begging you to play. DiMaggio, that'll be a nickname. Jolt and Joey DiMaggio.
Joey fakes a smile.
He's your favorite?
My dad's.
Joey trips on his loose laces. He tumbles forward, landing on the grass.
Jesus Christ, are you all right? How many times do I gotta tell you? You gotta double knot these things.
Frank gets down beside Joey. He starts to double knot them for Joey. The son looks up at his father, smiles.
Can we keep going?
Frank nods, happy, helps Joey up. They run together. Interior kitchen, night. Frank and Joey sit next to each other at the kitchen table, in front of the cardboard box of baseball stuff. Joey eats a piece of black licorice as he looks through the photo album.
Is that you?
That was the last game of my sophomore year. God, I remember that one. Bottom of the ninth. A man on every base. I was playing third. Tito Perez hits a grounder. We all thought he was going to hit it to the outfield, because that's typically what he did. And I had pulled a muscle in my arm that morning. Hurt like hell, but I wasn't going to miss that game.
Joey, confused and uninterested, bobs and nods his head.
But goes straight for me. No one expected it. I can't for the life of me remember how, but I got it into my glove, picked it up, and threw it as hard as I could. Next thing I remember, Tito was out on first.
That's really amazing.
Joey pulls out the tin cookie box. He opens it, removes dozens of hand-drawn pictures, cartoons.
You draw these?
You gotta get some sleep. Always need a good 7 hours minimum before a tryout.
Hope I don't drop the ball.
Don't overthink it. You got the skills.
Frank leaves. Joey stares down at his father's drawings. Interior, Frank's house. Frank's bedroom, night. Frank and Eileen asleep. He wakes. He hears music. Interior, Frank's house, basement, night. Frank walks down the stairs. Joey sits playing the clarinet. Stops when he sees Frank.
Did I wake you?
I told you to rest up.
I still have to keep practicing.
You're not gonna have time for that with baseball.
Look, I can do both.
You're not gonna have time for that shit.
It's not shit.
Give me that thing and go to bed.
Joey doesn't react. Frank snaps forward, rips the clarinet out of Joey's hand.
Go to bed.
But, Dad,
Go to bed!
Joey goes past Frank and up the stairs. Frank pulls the clarinet apart, throws it onto the floor. Interior, living room, day. Eileen sits in a chair reading. Frank enters.
You're not coming?
She says nothing.
You're not gonna support our son.
Eileen picks up Joey's scratched clarinet.
Remember your father and the drawing?
It's not like that.
It's exactly like that, Frank.
A sadness washes over Frank.
We have nothing in common.
You both have the same kind of father.
Angrily, she pushes past him. Exterior, baseball field, day. A group of 8th graders toss baseballs back and forth. Joey is amongst them. Catching the ball with great effort, he appears quite glum. He sees Frank proudly watching from the bleachers. Tito stands with a clipboard and whistle, watches the kids. He's a coach of some kind. Exterior, baseball field, bleachers, continuous. Frank in the stands. He watches as the boys do running drills. He's clearly very anxious. Tito blows his whistle. The boys huddle around him. Joey is the last one to make the huddle. Joey looks at him. Frank gives him the thumbs up. Exterior, baseball field, day. A tryout game is in full swing. Joey sits bored and nervous on the bleachers, eating a piece of black licorice. He cranes his head to see Frank watching.
Buffalio! Hey, Buffalio, you're up.
Joey stands, walks to home plate.
Hey, Mr. Music, you want to try using the bat?
The other boys laugh. Joey picks up a bat, grips it, gets into position.
Before the music man strikes out, can anyone point out what he's doing wrong?
The boys start to laugh harder. Sweat beads down Joey's face.
his feet are in the wrong spot.
Joey puts his head down, sees his feet on the plate. He turns red with embarrassment.
Good start, Buffalio. Making your dad proud, huh?
Frank notices Tito speaking to Joey, doesn't like it. Joey grips the bat, puts it up, gets into position. The pitcher winds up, throws the ball, it zooms through the air. Joey misses.
Strike one.
Joey immediately glances at Frank. Frank nods his head, encouraging, still smiling. Joey readies for the next ball. The pitcher catches the ball, winds up, throws it. Joey misses. Frank now is getting concerned. He looks away. Joey, the sweat pours down his face, very aware that he has lost his father's attention. The pitcher gets the ball. Joey eyes him up. He squeezes the bat tight, then loosens his grip, holds it with the same delicacy he held his clarinet. He starts steadying his breathing, nods to the pitcher. Frank looks back at Joey. Joey, the pitcher throws the ball. It spins in the air. Joey calmly hits it with power. The ball soars, bound for the outfield. Joey throws the bat, runs as fast as he probably ever has. Frank jumps to his feet, yelling, cheering.
You got this, DiMaggio!
Joey hits first base. The players in the field still scrambling for the ball. Joey runs to second base. The ball hits the ground. An outfielder picks it up. Joey runs towards third base. Frank leaping up and down.
Go! Go! Go home!
Joey runs for home plate, then trips on his laces. Joey tumbles to the ground. He lands on his hand, on his pointer finger. He grimaces. From the bleachers, everybody gasps. Frank freezes. Joey gets to his feet, cups his hand, runs smooth, calmly, quickly. breathes in and out, in and out. The outfielder throws it to the pitcher. The pitcher throws it. Joey's feet touch down on home plate just before the ball reaches home plate. From the bleachers, the crowd erupts and cheers. Frank jumps up and down. Everyone on Joey's team surrounds him, cheering. Even Tito is impressed. Only Joey looks miserable. Interior Frank's car day. Frank is elated. Joey stares out the window, an ice pack on his pointer finger.
You ran faster and better than any one of those kids out there today. I don't think I've ever been so proud. There's no way you're not making that team. And if that fat-ass Tito gives you a hard time...
I'm not going to join the team.
Silence. Joey turns from the window.
What's wrong with you? Why would you throw away your opportunity?
I don't want to play baseball.
You're so good at it.
I don't want to play it. Now my finger might be sprained and I won't even be able to play.
If you really want it, you'll play through the pain. I used to do that all the time.
Man, play a clarinet.
You still want to play that stupid shit?
It's not stupid.
Why did you waste our time today?
For you. We finally had something in common. Finally had something to share.
Silence. Frank.
Joey, we have stuff in common.
Like what?
The two sit in silence. Interior Frank's bedroom, night. Frank stares into the picture-framed cartoon. His eyes linger on the words, "For my dad," and the tape holding it together. Eileen, in bed, wakes up.
Frank?
He was so mad. I still remember when he ripped it up. He never understood it. Those silly cartoons, he'd call them.
You were good at it, Frank.
Well, people thought so, except him. Then I started baseball, and he was never so mad again. I gave up the silly cartoons.
But Frank, you liked baseball more than drawing.
No, my father did.
Frank leans over, picks up the crumpled drawing of the baseball player he drew yesterday, looks at it. Interior Joey's bedroom, morning. Frank looks in. Joey is not there. Interior basement, morning. Frank walks down the stairs. No Joey. He thinks. Sighs. Interior backyard shed, morning. Frank peeks through the window. Joey's in the corner, almost out of sight, as if he's trying to hide, playing his clarinet. He grimaces with pain every time he plays with his sprained finger. Frank closes his eyes. Interior kitchen, day. Joey at the kitchen table, looking over papers. A bag of licorice hits the table. Frank stands there. Joey closes the folder containing the papers.
Got you some more. Thought you might be running out.
Thanks.
Frank sits.
How's the finger?
Sore.
Frank notices the folder. A piece of paper sticking out. Frank reaches over, opens the folder. It's filled with sheet music. Joey acts like he's been caught doing something bad.
What time is your concert tomorrow?
10.
Am I going to hear some songs that I like?
We're doing Mrs. Robinson.
Frank smiles.
I mostly want to hear your solo.
Joey reaches into the bag for the black licorice.
Mind if I have some?
You like black licorice?
It's my favorite.
Frank takes out some licorice. They both take a bite.
And most people like the red kind.
They don't know what they're missing. I remember that vending machine. The bee always got stuck.
Still is. It's the worst. Because most of the good stuff are in the bees.
My favorite black licorice is from this place down by the beach. They make it fresh. We'll have to go this summer.
I never had fresh licorice.
But this place is the best. They make it with black licorice and stuff.
The sound of their continued conversation begins to slowly fade, replaced by the sound of a clarinet. A beautiful song. Interior living room, night. The clarinet song continues. It's being played by Joey. Standing in front of his music stand, his finger is in a splint. He's still able to play, though it's painful. Frank sits in his armchair, happily listening, a sketch pad on his lap. He's drawing on the pad. A boy, well drawn, dressed like a baseball player. He holds a baseball bat. With his pencil, Frank turns the baseball bat into a clarinet. Fade out.